What's up, you sweaty nerds and greasy degenerates? Jingliu arrives in Honkai Star Rail today. In fact, you, me, your cousin, your best friend, your uncle, your sister, your uncle, your mom, your dad, and your barber, and everyone else in the world and in the Milky Way galaxy are just waiting for the routine maintenance to end so that we can start pulling for Jingliu like we're pulling on an old pair of pants that don't fit no more. But there might be some things that you might want to know about before pulling for Jingliu. So let's go over it. The good, the bad, the ugly, and the sexy. I mean, look, you get what I'm talking about. Let's start the video. All right. So do you want the good news first or the bad news? You know what? You know what? I changed my mind. You know what? You don't have a say in this anymore. Okay, this needs to be said. Okay, bad news first. Okay, I'm taking the mic. Okay, you know what? Listen, Jingliu has no business being this hot in the game. She is way too friggin' smoking hot to be dealing this much damage and looking this goddamn good while doing it. And this, looking at, I'm looking at you too, Dan Hung Imbibitor Lune, Mr. Snake Serpent Man. Okay, listen, you two have no business being that hot and doing that much damage. It is unfair. You have characters like Arlen in this game. This dude looks like he just rolled out of a trash can and he deals trash can damage. What is up with that? What is up with... I need to calm down. Okay, I need to calm down. So I don't know if you guys ever saw that movie Mean Girls, where like all the popular girls got to do everything they ever wanted in life because life sort of just like gave them everything and stuff. And then like all the not so popular girls, like they couldn't even sit at the same table with the other more like popular and cool girls because they kind of sucked and they got power crept into oblivion. Yeah, that's kind of like Jingliu and like Dan Hung and Bibiter Lune in this game. And then you have like the not so popular girls, which is basically like characters like Arlen, because the game developers just want to seem to give all the popular characters like Dan Hung and Bibiter Lune and Jingliu everything. Apparently they just get to deal like a ton of damage and also look super hot while they're doing it, and the characters like Arlen can't even get the girl Asta to freaking leave them the hell alone and have a good relationship with Asta on the space station because even sorry, I almost lost my cool back there for a second. What I was saying is that the developers of this game, Honkai Star Rail, we all love and enjoy so much, seem to wanna like give everything, all these shiny cool bells and whistles and fun gadgets and stuff to all the cool characters like Dan Hung and Bibiter Lune and Jingliu, and characters like Arlen have to basically look like a raccoon in this game, while all the new fun special characters are looking like lions and sexy tigers and stuff like that. Very bad analogy, but that's pretty much what it feels like in this game. It just feels like the developers want to release more power, and hotter and hotter and hotter characters. And it was already somewhat troublesome enough playing with Honkai Star Rail on our main monitor, keyboard in our left hand, and of course Rule 34 video on our side monitor, dick in our right hand. And I just feel like players are going to start becoming distracted with the amount of jerking off that's going to be going on in this game with all these newer hot characters, and people are going to start falling behind on their dailies and not really playing the main game as much, and the devs are just going to keep releasing more power and hotter characters, and characters like Arlen are just going to keep being shit in this game, and I guess all the standard banner characters are just going to become worse and worse because they're just going to keep releasing more power, and hotter. Sorry, I almost lost my cool back there. So what I was trying to say is that the power creep does exist in this game, but on a brighter note, if you just wanted to feel like super cool and powerful in this game, all you got to do is pull yourself a Dan Hung Imbibitor Lune or a Jingliu, and then you can literally fart on anything in the game and they'll just sort of die from the fumes. So just pull a Dan Hung Imbibitor Lune or a Jingliu like me, and you'll just basically dump on everything in the entire game and feel like super duper cool and Sorry, I just choked on my own stupidity. But you can pretty much just pull Dan Hung and Bibiter Lune or Jingliu in this game and not even have to think. You just push E, and then after that, if you push E again, and then after that, if you push E, you'll just win the game. If I could just come out of my existential crisis for just a moment here, I did say earlier I'd go over the good, the bad, and the ugly for Jingliu, and if you haven't been able to tell what those things are by this point, we'll go ahead and do a little TLDR. The good going for Jingliu is that her DPS is absolutely insane. She's either going to be probably like tied for top DPS slot in the game, maybe second DPS in the entire game, based on the numbers we're able to see so far. Let's wait till she actually comes out and is out for like maybe a week before we can kind of give that final verdict, but she's really high up there on the solo DPS charts. But she's also going to unlock, in my opinion, probably the best team comp you can possibly have in the entire game, which would be Jingliu, Blade, and then like Fu Xuan and another support, maybe someone like Pela or whatever. But the two that I'm really caring about there is Blade and Jingliu. This combo is going to be absolutely insane because when she does the team drain, it's actually, rather than hurting the team, going to deal a small amount of HP, but it's going to buff Blade like twice if he's wearing the Longevous Disciple set. This is an incredibly powerful combo, and because she's so skill point efficient, you're not going to worry about using skill points on other characters. So you don't have to worry about the fact that you're putting two powerhouse hyper carry DPSs on the exact same team. So if you consider that, even if she's the second best DPS in the entire game, she helps create the best team composition you could possibly have in the entire game. Of course, we're going to have to do some testing when she comes out to find out the final verdict, but I think that you've already seen the power level and the good that's going for her. She's easily a very easy pull to make. If you don't want to pull for her, don't pull for her. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you some facts. Okay, now, with the bad going for Jingliu, there isn't really much of a bad. This video is a joke. If you haven't been able to tell I'm joking in this video, I don't know what to say about you, okay? I'm freaking kidding here, okay? Now, anyways, Jingliu, there's not really much bad for her. The only bad that you can kind of say that might be going for her isn't even actually bad for her. She's so good and she's so hot and she's so sexy that every single other character is not going to look as good in comparison to a character like Jingliu and Danheng and Bibitra Lune. It's power creep. It's not really a bad for Jingliu. She's so good, it kind of is like rough or bad for the game because it creates another power creep scenario where you have Danheng and Bibitra Lune and Jingliu power creeping the hell out of literally every other DPS in the entire game. It's bonkers how much power output they have in comparison to basically everybody else, with easy to make builds. You don't even have to work too hard at building them for them to be that friggin' good. So it's not really a bad for Jingliu. It's more of like she's so good, it's kind of like a downtick for the game itself. Some people hate power creep, and some people have even left the game already because of power creep. So it's just incentivizing people to be even more pissed off about the whole power creep situation. And the ugly for Jingliu, once again, it's not really a bad thing for Jingliu. She's so dang hot and sexy in terms of her DPS is sexy. She's sexy in herself. She's making everybody else look ugly. She's making characters like Arlen look ugly, not only because their face is trash, they're doing trash damage in comparison. And if you can't tell that I'm joking about Arlen, I don't know what to say about you. These are jokes, okay? It's not a dick, it's a joke. Take it, okay? Jesus Christ. Anyways, if this video was helpful to you in any way, shape, or form, please leave a like and subscribe. And if you hate it, you hate my guts, you think my mic sucks, leave a hate thread in the comments so I can tell you how much more Jingliu likes me than she likes you. Anyways, see you next time. Don't trip on your way out.